It literally just like cut out.
So I see there's like a leave meeting button and I did not click that. So I could click, there's a little X at the top and I thought I could click that but stay in the recording, but I think that shut it off.
Oh my god.
At least I joined the meeting. Okay, I'm better than our third part over here.
Very true. You're doing well so far. There's like three buttons on the screen, and you're like, oh, let me see which ones I can hit.
Oh, Sierra.
Hi.
Okay, thanks for joining. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome. Noted. 2 minutes and 50 seconds in, we have everyone together.
This is gonna be a shit show.
You couldn't hear me before. I kept saying, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And you're like, "Oh no, I can't believe this is happening."
Wait, I guess we couldn't hear you.
If that isn't like the worst case where you're trying to talk, but you just hear the other two like shit talking, like great, this is
Yeah,
falling
but
apart.
Sierra fucking sucks.
I mean, I just would like to point out for the record, I did make the statement we need to be worried about Mir's technology working and me knowing how to work technology.
I know.
So here we are.
The first Sierra,
Oh no.
I said, Shelby, I have 6 different headphone options and all of them are only mediocre. Can you hear me okay?
All right, so hello and welcome everybody. There's probably some form of rambling before this intro because I'm sure I'll find it funny that we're always confused when we work together. But welcome to the Wine and Bitch podcast, where we, Sierra, I don't know what slogan you created for it, but basically we like to bitch a lot and drink wine, and that describes the three of us basically.
Yeah,
So
we like to whine and bitch. Yep.
exactly.
Well said.
So I don't know if we like want to be like, hi, I'm Shelby. So there are three of us here. So if people want to be able to associate voices with names, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I will start with I'm Shelby and I'm drinking a classic boxed wine of some kind of just white mixture. I don't know. I think it's literally just like white. It's literally called, I think, white wine. Like that's it.
Classy.
Sounds about
Because
right.
I went for the classy cheap shit.
Well, I think I can top you with that. I'm Sierra, and I'm drinking a wine called Red Cat. Doesn't that sound classy?
Oh shit. I feel like I've heard of that before.
It has a cat in a sleigh being pulled by reindeer.
Whoa.
That sounds
That
Yeah,
sounds
I mean-
out of season.
Yeah.
Okay, hi, I'm Mir. I'm drinking today a nice pink wine. I believe it was called Southern Girl because I'm in the South.
Look at you,
So
little Southern
I thought
Belle.
it was fitting.
Wow.
You know,
I would just like to
Liberty
say
Belle over here.
kudos to us for getting all wine types in here. We got a nice pink,
Yes.
the white, and the red. Look at us go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Mine will probably almost never vary. So
I may not have wine every week, but I
That is true.
I was so prepared, Mir, for you to just be like, I'm drinking some kind of weird vodka mixture. Like
I actually have a lot of wine in my apartment right
I'm
now.
so
surprisingly.
impressed with you.
Yeah, you guys finally rubbed off on me after we were apart.
Really proud, really proud.
I'd also like to toss out the
Mhm.
question, what kind of cups are we feeling today, ladies?
Yes, I wanted to say
Oh,
I want whether it's what you're actually using or just where you feel you're at this week. Either one is an acceptable
okay,
answer.
good
Let's
point.
do both.
Good point.
Let's do both.
Yeah. Mir-
Shelby,
oh,
do you want to
fuck,
start
okay,
us off?
all right. Well, I'm drinking out of a plastic cup, like a no, not like a red Solo cup. Fuck. How do we differentiate?
Okay.
It's like I feel like there's wine glass, wine cup, and then like plastic cup, you know?
I agree.
Mir just left.
She left. She quit. I would just like to toss out for the record, as these people get to know us, if anybody out there is listening, two of us have never done a podcast before. One of us has a hard time working technology, me, and another one of us has a hard time with technology working for her, Mir.
Just because
So
it's
just,
like
yeah.
the technology should probably die off. But
Yeah.
it's
You know.
fine.
A little bit of background on where we're at podcast wise, so bear with us.
Hey, hey.
So,
Oh,
look who's
welcome
back.
Thanks. I just
back.
needed a quick break.
Were you hitting buttons again?
No, it said that I didn't have a good connection.
Mm.
Mir will be back after the short commercial break.
Mir will be back after
This
she
may
gets a new
happen.
phone.
I'm actually planning on getting a new phone within the next 2 months. So
What kind of
Oh,
phone?
thank God.
What kind of phone?
Say iPhone,
obviously
say
for
iPhone.
Android, depending if I want. Oh, so apparently Motorola is coming out with a
No,
new
no.
phone. I already had the Razr.
No.
I've seen it.
When we were like in 8th grade and they had that pink Razr phone that everyone had. It's like a remake of that, but it's like touchscreen and it's super cool. So maybe.
You're gonna get a Razr.
How cool would that be? To be like, yeah, I got a Razr.
I'm not gonna lie, it'd be kind of cool. And as long as you say the phone is new, I'm on board with whatever you get.
A folding
You need,
touchscreen.
you need to stop getting phones from like 2008. Like it's not working.
I'll
Somewhere
upgrade.
my
At
dad
least
is having a small stroke right now and he doesn't know why.
He's just like panicking.
Oh,
Okay, anyway.
Sorry, Mir, I was saying I'm drinking out of a wine cup, like the middle, but I'd say my mental state and life teeter closer to a red Solo cup. I just don't have any.
That's
So,
fair.
that's where I'm at right now.
I like it.
Whoever.
Mir, go
We're
ahead.
gonna stick in the same order. Okay,
Oh,
I'll
we're
go.
good.
Right now, I'm drinking out of just a normal water glass cup because honestly, I don't have a lot of options. But how I feel with my life right now is pretty similar to Shelby with a red Solo cup.
Oh,
But
good.
why waste the plastic? So
For real.
drinking
Yeah.
with glass.
I'll say that.
Currently, I am drinking out of my wine glass, stemless,
Oh shit.
rose gold at the bottom, because I like to pretend I'm a fancy
Damn.
bitch.
And I have my
Um,
charcuterie
yeah.
board to my right and my
Thank
oil
you.
diffuser to my left. And
I mean, it's actually a scented candle today, not the diffuser.
Oh, I knew it.
But,
I knew it.
Or the real flame is brought out.
I where am I at this week? I would say either I'm in a straight from the bottle type of week, or also maybe like a bowl.
Okay.
Just like whatever you have around. I need
Like,
a
It's
lot of
definitely
it.
lower than the red Solo cup is what
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
Yeah,
maybe.
it is a step lower.
Oh,
I
no.
just,
Interesting.
the quarantine, it's hit me hard. This is my 4th week stuck
Oh.
in this apartment. And I mean, I love my apartment, but like, human contacts and outdoor space
For
is
sure.
always
It's also
fun.
nice.
I'm
Yeah.
really, really sorry. Yeah, I feel like both you guys are taking this kind of hard. I'm on my 22nd year of quarantine, so
Shelby, I was literally gonna say that. You took the words out of my mouth.
It is true.
but
You've been practicing for years.
for sure. Yeah, I really need people to like stop asking me. They're like, "How are you handling it?" I'm like, "Handling what? My life? I don't
Yeah.
understand."
You're like, oh, there's a
Nothing
big
has
pandemic
changed.
going on.
Yeah,
No idea.
nothing's changed about my life, but it's fine. Oh man.
I mean, in
Yeah.
good news though, which will hopefully change my wine glass. Near
I know. Just keep going. You're fine.
but in good news, which will hopefully bring my me at least back into a glass or cup category instead of the bowl or bottle. My art supplies are supposed to arrive tomorrow, so
Oh, what art supplies did you get?
let's do hobby. I got a wood canvas. I'm going to be painting a sign for my bar because me and alcohol.
Yeah.
It's got to be cute, got to be nice. It's gonna involve lemons because I'm obsessed with lemons right now, and kind of always, but just really looking forward to it. We're gonna paint it up.
That would be so cute. I love it.
Thank you. I've ordered 3 different kinds of yellow paint. It probably wasn't necessary, but
Really going for it. No, are you kidding me? You gotta get all the shading in there. You gotta
Yeah.
like really bring in the different tones. I'm on board with it.
I'm really gonna try. I'm really gonna set my inspiration as Shelby and just kind of go for it.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest star, Mir Levinson, is
I
back.
just like to make an entrance.
So great to see you.
When Mir's like, I need the attention on me, she leaves and then she comes back.
You guys know this is the trick that I use my life for.
All right, so how about we actually like hop into this?
Yeah,
I
sure.
guess really our idea for this was, feeling we always are feeling chatty about random shit and we can talk about it, we can complain about life because life sucks, but it's also great at the same time. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, basically that's it. So I don't think if I'm missing anything, feel free to just chime in. But just if anyone wants like a general idea of what our thoughts were for this after we've talked about ourselves for 30 minutes. we thought it'd be fun for episode 1 to talk about like first impressions, and this can like obviously lead into a variety of conversations. Expect tangents constantly.
Mhm.
But Sierra had the fantastic idea of being like, we should talk about our first impressions of each other. I mean, we are in like the like I feel like epicenter of like the age where you're meeting everybody. So it's like we probably have so many like first impression experiences and stories. And I thought it'd be fun to do more like personal, like just meeting another person versus business, but obviously we can hop into whatever. But yeah, kind of first impressions for first episode. What impressions are we, setting for this, or is everyone gonna hate it? Who knows? It's all possible. But
I'm not really sure the first impression that we're making on listeners right now either, but that's
yeah,
another topic.
I would not like to
It's not- But yeah, so I did look up a few like fun facts. So it's only like two, so don't get your hopes up. But I don't know if we want to start with like our first impressions like of each other. I thought it could branch into like weird stories of meeting people for the first time or whatever. So whatever we want. I don't know where we want to start.
Let's start with each other. Now that I'm thinking about
Okay.
it, because I was like, oh no, I
Okay.
don't remember, but now I'm starting to remember our first impression.
You're like, wait, how did I meet everybody?
When did we meet? Do I know you guys?
I literally like hate that when people are like, "Oh my God, remember how we met?" I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
like what?
Sorry.
I haven't known you since birth. I don't understand." But I mean, so you guys have known each other for like 4.5 years now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm like a half a year
Wow.
to a year behind that.
Yeah, that's okay.
that is true.
I like knew of your existence, but I feel like I didn't really meet you until like a year later.
Yeah,
No, I knew you, Shelby,
Yeah, I know.
long before I met you.
I was at a disadvantage. I was like, no, people kind of knew me. I was coming in. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? I don't know what's happening.
And then you met us and you were like, who the fuck are these people? Yeah.
I was like, please, I never want to meet these people ever again. But yeah, I guess if like I know you guys, at least how Sierra tells it, had an interesting first meeting and experience together.
Did.
If you want to talk first
It was-
impressions.
It was memorable for me. I'm not sure if it was memorable for Mir.
Wait, when we first actually met though, when was the first time I actually met you? Is that with the whole losing Jake story?
Yes. That is my
was
first
the first
my first
impression.
recollection of it.
Yeah. I didn't actually I don't
Yeah.
think you weren't like memorable in my mind. Like I don't remember
No.
having an impression of
Oh,
you.
I
fuck
think it
you,
was-
Sierra.
I think it was very much the opposite.
Yeah. Wait.
So
yeah.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm just like
Wait,
I'm
like
saying it was memorable for me because like you made an
Oh, okay,
impression
okay.
and I was just like, oh, I'm okay. All right, let's go.
Sorry. All I remember from that event is that this kid Jake, who we never met, was like dead in a ditch, and that's all I remember of those 3 hours.
In hindsight, apparently he was volunteering and being a good member of society, but failed to inform us.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, super long story short,
Yeah,
basically, someone you guys had all met, like, first week of college, disappeared for, like, right? Like, 24 hours straight, basically.
Yeah, and didn't contact
Basically, yeah.
anyone.
And
And
no
then we
one
found
knew where
out
he
that, like,
was.
That is kind of his thing. He just doesn't answer.
Yeah.
Not really a big
Yeah.
texter or anything like that. So really played
Yeah.
into it.
Okay, but go
And
ahead,
you guys
Sarah,
literally, like,
what was your first
went
impression?
searching for him. But yeah.
So, I mean, to start this off, I need to make the broad statement that I'm from a pretty small town where everybody is like the same. We're all very much cookie cutter, models of each other. So anything that
Same.
kind of strayed from that was like a shock to the system. And
then Mir
I know,
walked
I'm
into your
really-
town.
I'm really scared
and
of
then
what's
boom,
coming.
Mir's here. We were looking for Jake, like Mira said, and all of a sudden she's like, "All right, well, we had, realized where he was at." She's like, "Well, I'm gonna go out tonight." She's like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Nothing. It's like the first weekend of college. I don't know, sitting in my dorm room." And she's like, "I'm going to a party. Do you want to come?" And I was
I
like,
didn't know that's
"Oh
when
my
I
God."
invited you.
So you invited me to a frat party, which, as we've mentioned several times, is how we began and ended our college careers together. Terrible second time, but that's a story for another time. And I was already like, oh my God, a college party, a frat party, wild. So I'm like I don't know what to wear. This is back when I still wore a hat every day and my camo mocks. And you are like trying to look through my closet for like what can I put this girl in that she
Oh my
doesn't
God,
look
I'm
like
just
a
picturing
child.
this.
I like didn't remember any of this.
Mir, you were already drunk at that point.
You were
let's
just
be
like going
honest.
for it. And I was just like so caught up in a whirlwind of like, oh my God, this is college. And we get to this party. I was introduced to Jungle Juice. Thank you, Mir.
You're welcome.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is gonna be a party girl. Like this is gonna be so much fun. She's gonna like introduce me to life. And then we get there and she's like, all right, now like don't drink if anybody hands you the cup and like you don't know who they are. She's like, you can just stick with me. Everything's gonna be fine. Like let
Which
me know
also,
if you're
like,
not okay.
freshman Miriam doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
She was just
No,
like,
but it's okay. You're making yourself out to seem like an
Yeah.
expert. You're doing great.
I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm in such good hands. Like she's so sweet. She's gonna take care of me. This is gonna be great. And then all of a sudden, Mir's gone. And I was like, okay. I'm standing in the corner with this bag of wine being shoved in my face, something about slapping a bag, and I could not figure out. And she just appears and she's like, can you make it back to your dorm tonight? And I was like, yeah, no problem. She's like, okay, all right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Wait, did
And
that
she
really
vanished, and I was
Wait,
like,
we have
And then you did see
left
her
with
for
that
2
guy.
years.
You left with that guy.
Wait, we have never talked about the full story though. I do not remember that.
Are you serious? I feel like I've heard this story like 5 times.
Not on my-
It was
So overall,
just such a whirlwind.
back to
I loved it.
depression.
I like got back to my dorm that night and I just felt like I was having one of those movie experiences of like, wow, this is college. I've done it.
I've done it.
I have met a random girl who took me to a random frat party and then just like left with a random guy. And I'm like, this is it. This is what I want to do with my life.
And Sierra
And then
slapped
we
the
like
bag.
never went to, we never really went to parties again
Yep, that was
until
until
we made
Sarah.
one terrible mistake.
Isn't that
It
a
was
fantastic first
great.
impression?
It was
I love it because
Amazing.
there's so many positives like until the end.
And I mean, even the end like wasn't a negative. She just calmly walked up, like just like the confidence that she had for everything. I was like, this girl knows what she's doing. And then I got to know her, and I was like, oh, this girl does not know what she's doing at all.
Oh no.
And she dropped.
I like love hearing that story because it really does encompass Mir. Not that she's like irresponsible about leaving people, but like it literally is like there's so many positives. Like, oh my God, she's so like inclusive. We're doing something fun.
Yeah.
It's always very like in the moment. And then when you're there, she's just like, okay, now everyone go have a blast on their own. And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
She's very much like a mother duck or something, you know? She like keeps you in line, like follow her along, and then she's like, all right, boom, out of the nest you go. And it's
Run
like, oh,
free.
okay.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, I guess
But
I'll
it was
sums
wonderful.
up, so thank you.
It's okay, Mir. Mir, it's all
All
positive
positive,
things.
all positive.
You're confident, you're fun, you're just an all-around wonderful human.
Aw, thank you.
Oh wow.
In all of my crazy
I know,
travel
I know.
adventures.
All right, Shelby, why don't we hop over to you? Tell us your first impression of Mir.
Oh Lord, I can't even tell you a specific moment. I mean, I know like that first dinner I had is where I met like almost everyone. But that was also when like Mir was still like full rowing Mir. So like she would come over for like 5 minutes and then like run away and be like, oh, I have to go talk to these people. I have to go talk to these people. I have to go talk to these people. And so I was just like, this bitch has a lot of friends. Like, wow, she's so social.
And then you with me senior year,
And I
and
was
you're like,
just-
wow, this bitch has 2 friends, and I'm one of them.
And she's stuck in the apartment with them.
Oh,
but-
oh.
I mean, wait, Sierra, didn't you basically live there?
Well, that's true.
I mean, we all know who
Not
we're
really.
doing.
The couch was my bed.
Exactly. But I just remember like I remember a lot of energy and like constantly like definitely like laughing because you like laugh with like everything you say. Whether it's like a nervous thing or I don't know, but like you just like laugh with everything you say. And so I was just like, wow, like what a fun, like energetic person. But I was like, that was like it because I feel like you were like there and gone. And then it was like a whole year before we actually like
Yeah.
started talking.
That fits in. That makes sense. Cool. Thanks, guys, for the first impression. Good to know.
You're welcome. Let's just shit on Sierra.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay,
Bring it on.
well, apparently my first impression is a little wrong because I didn't realize my real first impression of Sierra. Because you guys know my memory is really fucked. But I do remember from stories that Sierra was the first one to go to the party with me. And so my first impression from that was, well, this girl's down for anything. This could be my party friend.
My party friend.
Apparently we were on different wavelengths on that. But I feel like when I really got to know her, then it was like I don't know. I feel like really for homecoming Sierra, when your parents and my parents sat together and we had dinner. I know that was like 2 months after I actually met you, but I feel like that's when I like really had my first memorable impression. You know what I mean? And I think that's when I was like, wow, this girl's one, really sweet and like family oriented, which I loved. And I was like, wow, she gets along. It was almost like a first date. I was like, wow, she gets along with my parents. Like, this is great. We're gonna be best of friends. Like, all right.
Oh my god, I can bring her home to
right,
the
exactly.
fam.
I was
can
like,
bring her
yeah.
home to mama.
So yeah, I feel like that kind of like sums up the whole like Sierra, like the sweet small town, but also would totally go to any party with me that I wanted.
Just
Yes.
down for
Down
Down
anything.
for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a little convincing, but
Going. I feel like a lot of my impression was like almost through Spencer because he immediately was just like, because you guys like had quite a few classes together that first semester, if I'm remembering correctly. And he would just be like, you're really gonna like Sierra. Like he's like, she would fit in perfectly with our group from home, and he would like talk you up. So I feel like 50% of my first impression was like literally Spencer talking you up. And so I was like, oh, okay, this girl's gonna be cool as shit. And so I was like
and
so
then
excited.
You met me.
And then I was like, big disappointment. Oh, no.
Knew it.
But I was just like, I basically had like the same feeling. Like I was just like, this girl gets like small town life. Like, you know, it was a lot of like mutual experiences in that sense. And so like that was really cool to like be in like a new area, but like have someone who like understood, you know, kind of like where we came from. So I think it was just a lot of that. It was a lot of like, wow, we have a lot of the same like general like vibes about stuff. So it was all like really good feelings, and it was just like, wow, this is literally someone I could have met like in my hometown, but like in a positive way. Because I feel like normally I say that in a negative way. But you have like Sierra has such the positive outlook on small town life, and I'm here and I'm like, it fucking sucks. Like no.
When Pittsburgh was too small for you and too large for me.
Yeah, it's way too small. But yeah, all good. I mean, literally, obviously, I had a good experience with like meeting everyone in Pittsburgh. So, or I wouldn't be here making a podcast with you guys. But
we love each other.
We usually wait till we're a little more drunk to be saying this, but yeah, guys, love you.
I know. The feels are coming out.
Really
I've only had one glass.
Yeah.
Okay, Shelby's turn.
All right, Mira, shall we attack Shelby?
Talk about me.
And that pretty much sums it up, ladies and gentlemen.
And can you just put that as a tagline to the Wine and Bitch podcast?
Let's talk about me,
baby.
Yeah.
Well, Mira, you want to kick it off?
Again, I don't remember the exact moment, but I remember collectively that the first, you guys know my memory. These conversations are not going to be good for me. I remember the first few like times Shelby came up to visit in our school. I saw her, she was like very quiet, and it was weird. Spencer was really outgoing, and I was like, odd, but like they're nice, they're cute. Like Shelby seems like a very nice girl, and I just kept thinking like, okay, Mira, like I can bring something out of her. Like I want to be friends with her. Like you drew me to you, Shelby, and I was like, I wanted her to expand more.
Oh man.
I feel like once you actually came to our school, what sophomore or whatever year, she got to talking, and I was like, wow, this person is very, very cool. Like you did all the art, and art just amazes me. So I was like, oh boy. And then you started talking nonstop, and I was like, wait, I really like.
Yeah, I was gonna say this
girl
girl
doesn't
doesn't shut up.
180, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is why I wanted her to open up. Like, so I feel like my first impression of you was very like not wrong, but it definitely got like flipped upside down compared to like I don't know, like Sierra. Like I was like the impression of it was pretty like accurate throughout the rest, but in a very positive way. And then I was like,
yeah, I get that.
Love Shelby. Let's live together.
Oh my god, I didn't know she could get cooler. That's so cool.
I feel the exact same way, Mira. I feel like I had two separate first impressions of Shelby because, like you said, Spencer like talked about like a go-between for us for like a year. So I got
Yeah.
like a very solid impression of who you were from him, just like constantly professing his love for you
I
in
did
my
not
room.
hear
No
all
big deal.
Oh my God, this girl's so great. You're gonna love her. You guys are so similar. Like, you guys are gonna get along so well. Just like kept going on. I'm like, awesome. Like, I really can't wait to meet her. We're gonna be, just like so similar. We're gonna hang out, like, totally normal. And then I walked into the cafeteria to meet you guys for dinner that night. And I saw you with like the colored hair, all the piercings, like the very like trendy outfit, and I was like, Spencer, we are nothing alike. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's like out there. Like, she does art, like she has like talents, she like has colored hair, she does like interesting things. And then I actually got to know you,
And
like
knows
Mira
nothing
said.
about sports. Knows nothing
All
about
right,
sports.
yeah, also that. I had just like had such a different picture in my head, from how Spencer had like, talked about you, and obviously like how I knew Spencer at that point. I had assumed, from what he said, that it would be somebody, almost just like me, just
Like
like him,
yeah.
very like normal, like plain Jane. And then I met you, and you were just like the opposite of plain Jane. She like knows what she's doing.
LOL.
And I like actually like got to know you after we talked and stuff, like Mira said, and it did like another 180, and I was like, oh no, this girl is just like me. She just dresses better and
Yeah.
actually has fun with her life. Look at
Oh
that.
my
That's
gosh,
right.
shut the
About
fuck
half of my first impression of Shelby of like your hair and clothes, because I was like, wow, this girl's really cool. Like, okay, that's awesome. But I literally forgot
Mhm.
about that because at that point, like I don't know, at this point, it's just like that is Shelby. Like your hair and clothes aren't like a thing. Like that's just you.
Yeah.
Like I forgot that was like, shocking at first.
It
It
was.
was in like its prime time though when I met you guys. Like
Yeah,
that's when I had the
you're
shaved
right.
head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the big dangly, I remember the one big dangly earring, and
Oh
then the
my
other ear
God.
like had nothing. And I was like,
Big
why?
friend in high school
I would
who
wear,
like
like,
did all that stuff, and I was just like, oh yeah, that girl was really cool. It's like this girl's probably really cool.
See, and now I was the opposite. Like, nobody I knew had ever like had, like a rainbow colored hair, like earrings like that, a shaved head, anything. Like I said, we are cookie cutter people. So like when I saw Shelby initially, I was like, oh my God, she's like a city folk. Look at her. And then here I find out, like, nope, she's from another small town, totally normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first impressions
No.
can sometimes be spot on, but also sometimes completely the other way around.
I'll kind of go into my like fun facts because I feel like it dives into like the next question I was gonna ask if y'all are good with that.
Yeah.
But obviously, I mean, I feel like we all know like the definition of a first impression. But when you're just kind of like creating like a mental image of the other person, people say it takes like between 5 to 15 seconds to like create a first impression, which I have like such a hard time believing
Wow.
that because I feel like you take into account so many things. But I also feel like it's hard to say that because like now we've known each other for like quite a few years that it's like, well, you like had this moment, you had this moment, you had this moment. So it's like, but I feel like it's so hard to like just
I feel like
initially
maybe, like-
judge off of that. But I mean,
Yeah.
obviously they're
I feel
probably
like
right.
there's also like seeing the first impression of like
Yeah.
if you like the person, like if you want to talk to the person more, not necessarily like getting all of their personality traits.
Right.
Like I don't know, like I feel like with both of you guys, like the first
That's
5 to
definitely
15
true.
seconds, I knew like I at least wanted to like spend more time with you. You know what I mean? To see if we can blossom into a beautiful friendship.
Yeah.
Aw.
Awesome. What I wanted to get into was there's this term called meta perception. I don't know if either of you heard of this. I don't know. I didn't know if Sierra, you might have with like psychology and stuff, but
Yeah, that monitor is not doing well for me.
oh, it's fine. It's fine. I just didn't want to like, be like
You're
telling
like,
you
oh, no,
things
what
you
is
already
this
know.
term?
But
What is
anyway,
psychology?
Please enlighten the viewers. Go ahead. I
what
know
is
exactly what we're
psychology?
talking about.
But meta perception, it's like it refers to how like you yourself perceive the perceptions that other people
yeah.
make of you.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, how do you think other people see you? And so it's kind of like the idea of like, if you see yourself as like a kind, positive person, you generally do those things to others, and people will probably see you as that, like those same identifiers. Side note that I found interesting is that it's studied heavily in like the idea and realm of narcissism because, quote, since narcissists tend to view themselves as confident, agreeable, and friendly, even though others typically view them as self-involved and smug, I was just like, oh shit, because I feel like my brain just like goes to like narcissists that I know, and it's just like, yeah, you're kind of an asshole. But like they definitely think they're like the shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that though. I feel like we all have narcissistic tendencies. Am I crazy? Because unless,
No.
well, I don't know. Spencer says that I have narcissistic tendencies, and which I like agree with. I'm not disagreeing. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
I feel like everyone
kinda
has that a
wants
little bit.
to like
I would
have
agree.
attention on them in some degree. Not saying like you want to have 100 people staring at you, but
Yeah,
like, you want someone to kind of give you attention.
right. And also like you should think you
Yeah,
as yourself is a badass. Like you should like I
exactly.
feel like be
Well, it's like,
confident
yeah, where's
and be
that
like,
line
oh
yeah.
yeah.
between confidence and
So I'm just like,
narcissism? Like,
like I feel like there should be like an in-between word,
like yeah, I'm
but
rocking the ship, but I'm not full of
yeah.
myself.
But like maybe a little bit, but not fully.
I would like that to just be the tagline for your life now.
What?
The I'm rocking it, but like I'm not full of myself.
I like
Oh,
it. New LinkedIn profile.
definitely, definitely. I mean, but isn't that like literally social media? It's like, hi, look at me, be awesome,
That's
but
true,
also
true.
I'm not full of myself. But when Spencer told me that, I like did like a Google deep dive, and there are people who are like narcissists are like a leech
God.
on your life, and I was like, oh my God, like there are people like really worked up about it. So I was like, okay, it's like
You
maybe
can
I don't
find
want to call
somebody
myself a
worked
full
up
blown
about
narcissist.
anything.
Yeah, for real. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of lead into like first impressions. Like, do you when you walk up to someone, do you like try to set like, is there a goal in mind that you're like, I'm gonna try and represent myself in like X way or like something of the sort? Like, are you out there like really trying to attain something, or you're just kind of like, fuck it, we'll see, we'll see what happens when I like meet this person.
I feel like it depends
Yeah.
on the environment I'm in. Like
That's
if
true.
it's just, an everyday normal thing, I'm more of a like, well, I am what I am, take it or leave it, and let's just go with it. But if it's ever in like, and I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen like the reverse side of it, like anything academic or professional related, I have a very
Yeah.
different demeanor than anything else, like most people do. So
Mhm.
I'm like very, very aware of like the first impression I'm making in any sort of academic or professional setting. Like everything has to be perfect. Like I need to just present a very calm, united, confident front. And if you know me in any other aspect of my life, calm, cool, collected, and confident are not the first adjectives that would come to mind at all.
I literally find that so interesting. Like I know you're obviously like there's a level of like politeness that differs from business and personal. But I also find it so interesting like how flipped someone can be in two
Yeah.
different areas.
Mm-hmm.
Like I find that so interesting. Like I feel like I don't have that capability of separating myself in that way. Like maybe for the first 5 minutes. Like I'll give you 5 minutes of me being a reasonable human being in a workplace. After that, like you get full blown, like it's coming. I'm sorry.
All bets are off.
Yeah. And it's like I just don't have like I to me, that's like exhausting to like hold up like look at me, my life's put together front because it's like not even close.
Yeah.
But like no, but like and obviously that's not like a bad thing to like present yourself in a very good way in the workplace. I feel like it's different because I'm not in such a
Yeah.
business
I
setting
think
as
it's
you
also
guys are.
interesting. I
So
think it's interesting,
it's very
Shelby, you just
different.
said the phrase like put up that whole front to be like professional or being that other thing. But like Sierra, I kind of relate to you, and I feel like you're
Yeah.
gonna like agree with this, is that to me it's not like putting up a front. Like it's almost like I have like not like a multi-personality, but I do have like two sides of my personality where it's not like I'm faking it in the professional
Yes.
world. It's just like a different side of me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. To me, it doesn't feel like I don't know. I just think
no, I
it's
see
interesting
what
how
you're
you,
saying.
not. I mean, not saying anything against you, but like I think it's interesting you phrased it that way. Because to me, I wouldn't phrase it as like putting on my business self. It's just like no, like it's just that's my mindset when I'm in a professional setting. I don't know. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do.
Yeah.
I like get that.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
obviously
sure.
not. I don't think you guys are like multi-personality. I just like when I attempt to do it, like I like can catch myself. Like after I do it so long, I'm sitting here and I'm like, you're such a fake ass bitch. Like I'm like to myself, I'm just like, stop putting up this like show. Like it's annoying. You're annoying yourself. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm always the person in my brain. I'm like, people want to interact with a real person over again, obviously there's so
Yeah.
many different scenarios. I'm not a big workplace
mean,
business person, so I
exactly
can't
like
really
you
speak
said,
to that.
the actual professional environment that you're in compared to what Mira and I are in, it's
Yeah.
different. It's a different setting.
Oh yeah,
I feel like setting really plays into how you present yourself
That's true.
for some situations, And I mean, like,
exactly.
like you said, when you catch yourself and you're like, oh my God, like stop. I do that constantly when I'm using like my customer service voice or my
Yes.
speaking with my manager. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no problem. I can do that for you. Sure. You have a great day. And in the back of my head, I'm like, screw you, you dumb bitch. But I'm like, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Customer service speaks so true to that, though.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I will
Yeah.
never work for customer service again.
Yeah, it's a fun experience. I mean, I feel like we've all like done differing versions of customer service, but like even in that, like when I worked retail, like my level of like being able to be kind about it was so small. Like I just don't have patience. Like I don't know how you guys do it. Like if if someone like every day was like, "Hi, put on your business suit, walk in here, smile at everyone, give everyone a handshake, do your thing," I'd be
literal
like,
hell.
"No, I can't. I can't." Yeah, that literally is my hell. Like that to me is like I want to die. So I'm just like props to people who can sit in a cubicle and be respectful to everyone all day.
Yeah,
I don't have the
I did
energy or
until now in the
patience
job.
to
I
do
I
that.
realize I'm working with a lot of like
Mhm.
other users, and I'm like, wow, I have no patience. And I'm like, now I switch to the Shelby mindset. I'm like,
Right?
no, just figure it out. Okay.
It's
No, I'm
so
definitely, I like just had the experience within the past couple weeks of like flipping the switch at work. And I mean, with the whole, the pandemic issue, we're all working from home. Things are just like in a very relaxed setting right now because nobody
Oh, yeah.
really knows what they're doing. We're all sitting in our pajamas at home. And I was talking to one of my managers and he just like was talking very polite, proper, like normal. And he's like, listen, I'm gonna cut the bullshit and talk straight. He's like, this project, it's terrible. We like took over this new project and he started going off and I was like very aware of the fact that neither one of us was like using our customer service voice, being polite, being professional. We were just like swearing and using like slang terms. It was just so weird. And I was like, all right, like I feel like I've hit another level here. You've broken
I
down
love
the
that,
professional
though.
wall.
Yeah, I love that though, because don't you feel like you can just like talk more freely?
Yeah, it was so much better. And I feel like everyone at least should hit that point at some point in their professional career where you're no longer putting up the, like everything is perfect. I'm fine. I can handle this all because like you can't. Nobody can.
Right.
And it makes things so much easier when you're just open and honest with the people. And it actually is like, it makes things go so much better. Nobody's signing their emails, kind regards, when they really mean, screw you, Karen. Like, just do it. Don't actually sign your emails, screw you, but
They'll get it, yeah.
They'll get the idea.
They get it.
How long did it take you to swear at work? I'm not saying like constantly. Like obviously conversationally, I mean I swear every other sentence, but like conversationally, obviously we swear a lot and there's like a difference in the workplace, but like how long did it take you to like break to that point?
With coworkers, like people on my seniority level, probably 2 or 3 weeks in.
Okay.
Just because like that's my normal tempo with anybody, but with the PMs that I work with, the people who have authority over me or anything, it was after they had done it several times, and then I would kind of sprinkle one or two in there, test out the water, dip my toe in. Exactly. And I was just like, I feel like they're almost my parents, and I can't swear in front of my parents,
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Not really.
Do you swear at work?
Yeah, oh no,
or is everything just like peachy keen for you?
I feel like I definitely like how you said test out the waters. Like I would not be, just because I've never have been, but I wouldn't be the first to swear. But like if I hear another coworker do it a few times, then like if like my computer crashes, I'll say shit. But I still try not to do it like conversationally, and I never have with people. Yeah, I know, which I know you guys are like literally say fuck every other sentence, but no, I feel like even like all the time growing up, I always like was aware of my swearing, because anytime I had a job, I never did it in front of my family. I didn't do it for like a while, so I feel like I was always just like aware of it. So I still like I only do it if it's I know that it's the norm of the social situation. And I feel like the team I work with right now, it's not.
Hi, Mom.
They'll
If
be
you
like,
do listen to this, I'm sorry for swearing.
I was literally gonna say, just blame it on me. Every swear
Yeah.
word you hear
Just
is
switches
my
voices.
mouth. It's fine. I'll take full blame because I was literally going to say, Mir, before you like left, you were saying how like you like never really like swear that much, or you were at least like aware. Literally, you both are much stronger people than I am, so props to both of you.
I mean, Shelby, my
Are you
mom
serious?
washed my mouth out with soap. The bursting beads kind. I had bursting beads in my teeth because I said ass when I was in like fourth, fifth
shoot.
Oh
grade.
my god. I think
Yeah,
my
kitchen
parents always
lemon,
told a
bursting
story that
beads.
when I was like 2 years old,
That's
I don't know why, but I said like where the fuck are the crayons or something. Immediately started cracking up because I was the youngest of four. Like obviously I've heard it or whatever. And then I just think that they just gave up on me like, caring if I swear it
Now
at like
that's
2
a
years.
first impression.
oh,
Yeah,
I was super
that's
upset about it.
amazing.
I
Where the
still am
fuck
if I
are the
can't find my
crayons?
crayons.
love it. Here's the
Start
thing.
swearing.
You learn it from somewhere, and if you're two,
Oh,
you
yeah.
haven't really left the house much. So
I mean, I feel like the moment I like started swearing was like third grade because I was at some friend's house and like her family slash herself, like she swore like all
Yeah.
the time, which like for a third grader is like insane. And I was like, whoa, what do these words mean? And so for a
my
whole
God.
night, I like learned like everything. Like my eyes were opened in
Oh my
third
gosh.
grade. And the even better part was she got her like family like video camera and we made videos
my
of us
God.
just like screaming and cursing like all night long. And it was the
Wow.
funniest thing ever. Like it's so stupid and like obviously probably third graders shouldn't have been doing it, but
I
like
mean, no.
but like it's so funny. But like it was also really bad because in the morning her mom was like, "Oh, I want to see what you guys were making last night." And we were like, "Oh no." And
No, you
so-
don't.
yeah, we were like, "Oh no." So her mom like puts the tape in and we were like one, we were third graders, so I'm sure we weren't even saying things half correctly. Two, we were screaming and laughing, so you couldn't even tell what we were saying in the video. But like her mom's watching it and we're like sweating as we're like, we're about to get screamed at. We said so many bad things in this video. We thought no one would see it ever. And it was like the highest panic moment of my life. And like that's the day I started flipping people off. Like third grade. I started young and I started
Ooh,
fast.
wow.
It was
We got
a great time
badass
though.
in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
I wish. I live in my apartment. I don't do anything. Like if quarantine wasn't happening, I'd still be quarantining myself.
All her
So
badass days happened in
I
third
really
grade.
don't.
True. I remember learning the F word and how terribly it
Yeah.
went.
Yeah, really.
The
was
fact
at the-
that you just said the F word.
But like it's the F word, you know, the F dash dash dash. Bonus points if you know that movie. But anyway,
No,
it's a Christmas movie. That's
of course
fine.
it is.
I was at the park, you know, hanging out at the big kid playground, the wooden one. No big deal.
Yara.
I know, what can I say? I was adventurous. I was an adventurous little tot.
Learning F bombs.
Dude, I was learning it. And like these kids were teaching me things, you know. They were the older kids that I hung out with while my brother was playing baseball, like, you know, the siblings of the teammates and everything. And it was the next morning. I'm sitting at the breakfast table with my brother. My mom is in the shower. And I was like, Shay, what does fuck mean? What you know, very, very whispering it because like, you know, they told me it was like a bad word, but like, what is it? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Go ask mom.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay, yeah. Like, I'll go ask mom, sure. So I go marching up and I knock on their bathroom door and knock on the shower. I'm like, Mom. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, what does fuck mean? The water instantly off. I'm pretty sure the woman still was covered head to toe in soap. She threw her robe on. She came out. She said, where did you learn that word? You know, went into the whole big speech. And I was just like, wow. That was the day that I really truly found out, oh, my brother, he's a snitch.
Oh, well, I
He will
mean,
always be a snitch.
as an older sibling, it's part of the job description to set your younger sibling up for shit like that.
It hurt, you know? I think that was
It's
the
so
day
fun,
that
though.
the trust was truly severed.
Oh my God.
You only get it back once once they leave for college and you're like, oh man, I kind of missed that, man, you know?
Yeah,
until
I
college.
get that. Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because until then, you like both kind of hate each other, but like kind of get along. Yeah.
Exactly, you know.
Every time my parents would be doing something with my sister, I would find a way to get her to flip people off. And like I would just try and find a way to get her to like stick just her middle finger up. And I used to think it was the most entertaining thing ever. But then of course I was the one who'd be like, you can't do that. And I would like start flipping out. And my parents would be like, why are you holding up your middle finger? And she's sitting there confused because she's convinced and then later within 2 seconds yelled at for flipping off people.
You are terrible. I really think that this needs to be a separate topic because we have very different, you know, ideas of this. I'm a younger sibling. Shelby's the
I know,
older
we have both
sibling.
ends.
And Mir has like a
Youngest.
very unique situation. She's the youngest,
I mean, she's younger,
but has like
there's so
multiple
many.
like multiple different influences on her.
Like, have there ever been any like really weird first impressions, or like maybe someone
That's-
reacted to you weird or something of the sort?
Yeah, I was gonna ask what is the
Of
worst
somebody?
first impression you've ever had
Or
of
like
somebody? Like your worst, yeah. Like somebody just made a terrible first impression on you.
God. I don't know if someone else's at the top of my head, but I know
Sugar.
someone reacted to me super weird.
narcissist.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I was maybe I was working at Kohl's, throwback, and literally like worst job I've ever had in my life. But anyway, and this cashier that I was helping out because I was training or whatever, because it's really hard to push buttons on a cash register. And I was training, so I was like basically like watching this other guy slash like bagging, and I probably just and he was like my age, like we were both in high school, and to my knowledge, I just like walked up, was like, "Hey, I'm shadowing you today," and then I stood there, and we were like awkwardly standing next to each other because we were in high school and puberty and shit. So it was really uncomfortable, and I would try and make conversation, and it was like dying. Like that was still when I was kind of nice to new people, so I would be like, it was really uncomfortable basically, and I would try and like bring up topics to talk about, and like, but he had like nothing. So I guess this is both ends because he was not being great either because he like just wouldn't say anything. Like I would ask a question and he'd say nothing, so I'd go, all right, cool. Like I would just say it out loud. Like I was kind of saying like, fuck you for not answering my questions, and then like. I think I said something really obnoxious. He turns to me and he goes, "You know what? You're the most fucking annoying person I've ever met." And I laughed out loud for 5 minutes straight. Like I looked like a psychopath. Like I was laughing so hard because I don't think I've ever had someone just straight up say that to my face. And it was such a moment of like, I appreciate you, but also fuck off. So I was laughing so hard, and like customers came up like really uncomfortably. Like, should I not be interfering with this right now? What's going
Okay, that's a
on? It
pretty
was
bad first
so
impression.
amazing.
I
can't
It
top
was
that.
great.
damn.
No one's ever straight out said I fucking hate you before. Yeah,
It was
I
great though.
respect
Like
you for
it
that,
was
that's
so
true.
funny. Like I was like, props to you for saying that, honestly.
Oh man. I would say I can't remember one really bad first impression, but one thing I hate
No, I mean I think
when making first impressions is when people don't understand my humor. Not that I have great humor by any means, but when I make a joke and then they just like stare at me,
Oh,
or they just
God.
like just act like I didn't say anything at all, and I'm like, so yeah, sometimes I'll be like, hey, that was a joke, you can laugh. Like, I'm like, okay, like that was funny, or like you could at least like appreciate that I tried to make a joke. I hate that. That's one thing I hate when I'm first meeting people making impressions, and then they think I'm not funny, but I'm fucking hilarious. They just don't know.
You definitely in those situations you either have to like laugh, fake a laugh, or literally just be straight up and be like, I'm gonna be
Right.
honest, that was
Don't-
not
but don't
funny.
just,
But
like,
like that
stare at
kind
me
of creates some
blankly.
humor to the situation.
Happens quite
Like-
frequently, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's my own fault. I need to.
I agree
I
on
would hate
that.
that. I'm really sorry, Mir.
I mean, we're allowed to stare at you blankly now because it's no longer the first impression,
Right.
but like other people.
Exactly.
Well, now-
now
now
it's
just
just
part of the
You guys
humor.
know that I
It's
made a
fun 'cause
joke.
it
I
makes
hate
you
that, like,
uncomfortable.
They're not really
Yes,
sure if it's
yeah.
a joke, and I'm like, I wouldn't just say that. I don't know. That's my worst thing.
I got one that just adamantly sticks in my mind and was
Oh no.
it's spot on first impression.
It was the day she met Mir.
Bingo. We've already gone over this story. So I'm
Good idea.
I'm not gonna like drop
Wait, you
names
have to
with
make
it
up new
because,
names.
Right.
That's the fun part.
But I remember meeting somebody. I'm making up. Okay, all right. We're gonna go ahead and name this guy
I already like it. It's a
Timothy.
guy. This should be good.
Yeah.
Timothy.
Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and change it to Tiny Tim. He's Tiny Tim.
Oh no, what happened to
Yeah.
Tim?
Oh, Tiny Tim.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already know what this
And
is
you guys,
going.
you two both know this individual or know of him.
Okay.
And
I'm scared.
I remember I had heard a lot of things about him, some good, some bad, but I was in a certain position where I had to give the guy a chance and just like get to know him, whatever. And he was coming over to our house when I used to live with my old roommate,
Mhm.
and he knocked on the door. She was not ready. Like we were just gonna go out before the start of our senior year, and I opened the door and I was like, hi, I'm Sierra. It's nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Like, come on in. And he gave me the like up and down once over look and
Ew.
said, it's gonna be a long night, and walked into the house. And I was like, excuse me?
What the fuck?
And it just, that really set the tone for every
Wow.
interaction that I would ever have with him. It just, that one stuck with me. I'm like, that could not have put you in a worse light.
Yeah,
And no matter what he did or like any good things that I heard about him, which were few and far between, I just
Right.
could not believe it all
Oh
because
my god.
that's how you're going to
Yeah.
start an interaction with another human being.
Yeah, that's not
Long
great.
story short, I no longer have to see the dude. Actually
Bye,
didn't see
Tiny
him
Tim.
much after that, and I lived happily ever after.
Yay. Wow, Sierra, I'm really
Bye.
sorry my boyfriend did that to you.
I know, your
That's
boyfriend's
better,
such
that's
a tool. Timmy Tool, we could call him that.
Timmy Tool.
Timmy
Oh my
Tool.
God. That's so shit. Like, I feel like you have to do a lot to make an actual bad impression.
That's true.
I mean,
So, like, to do
he
that.
did very little right there, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
don't
you could have
know.
at least said hi. You could have, I mean, I know that we were like 21, 22, but I put my hand out to like shake your hand, dude.
Right, you should know
Also,
how to
and you
you're at the
just-
age that you, like, know to react to other people.
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, what?
I'm
We've
just,
been learning how to handshake since, like, middle school.
and it would have been totally different if I had answered the door in like, a drunken white girl state, but I don't even think
Maybe
that I had
that's
a
what he
drink
was
open
saying. He
at
was
that
saying like,
point. Like
wow,
we were
this
getting
girl
ready to
isn't
go out,
drunk,
sure, but nope. Forever first impression. I was like, yep, you lived up to all the hype I heard, man.
That's not great.
good.
But, like, bringing that into
Oh.
conversation, though. First
Oh.
impressions
I don't even
with
want to
alcohol
think about
involved.
that. I don't even want to
Terrifying.
think about that.
Terrifying thing.
Yeah.
I
I just
Okay.
I will literally tell the briefest thing just because Mir, you were there for this. But
I love
one
it.
of my like saddest experiences being drunk, not saddest, just like I was
Yeah.
an idiot. Remember when Spencer and I came to visit you in North Carolina?
Okay.
I think it was the first time we came to visit you. And
Right.
I got pretty drunk
Yeah,
pretty
Spencer
fast,
kept
which I didn't
giving her
realize
these
in the
dagger
moment that
eyes, and I was like,
doing that.
Spencer, let him
And
get drunk.
I
Not
ended
good.
up literally, oh my God, it is so bad. Like when I'm by myself, someone's really controlled. Not by myself, but like when I'm like not with you two, basically, I'm controlled. Any other situation where you guys are involved, I'm screwed immediately. But no, so yeah, I was taking a lot of alcohol, and I guess it wasn't a first impression, but it was like my first time meeting Mir's friends. So I ended up legitimately like yelling at one of her friends over, get this, big shock, Shelby story, donuts.
Wait, who was
Oh
that with?
God.
Like and I can remember how
Okay.
angry I was.
Oh, okay.
Like I got legitimately angry because someone said that donuts weren't that great. And I thought, for the first time in my life, I might cause physical harm to another person.
And they declared war on Shelby.
I literally, like, I can remember how angry I was. Like, I was so mad. I was like, what dumbass would say that? I don't understand what's wrong with you. And then I, like, started
All
yelling.
I kind of remember
I got
that, but I
aggressive.
remember
No
you
one
were
else
just like
did, just me.
screaming, but
I
I was
got
like, I love
aggressive.
Shelby, doesn't matter. So I was
Shocker.
like, yeah, backing her up. But then I remember Spencer was like, Shelby, you were like so aggressively mad. And I was like, yeah, actually, She did get pretty aggressive.
I got so mad, and definitely like everyone that was there, like all of your friends were like, "What the fuck's up with this girl?" And I was just like, the next morning we saw said person, and I went, "I'm going to only minorly apologize because it was way more amplified than normal, but I can't say I
You're like,
would
I
have done
still
something
stand by what I
similarly
said,
sober."
but-
So I gave like a 70% apology.
It sounds about right though.
I was
Oh,
like,
that's-
I
that's
should have
also
said it how I
typical
said it,
Shelby.
but I still agree with my statement.
It's on brand, on character.
Okay, if that's
But
your worst,
yeah.
then like, oh,
I'm pretty sure that's
I
like the
wish.
worst experience. I know, which isn't that bad. I don't like get like
Yeah.
blatantly drunk that often, unless like I said, I'm probably with one of you too.
Yeah,
So
it's true. I
That's really
feel like that's
good.
pretty similar. Yeah, there are certain individuals that I will get drunk with, and others that I'm
Right.
like,
because
well,
I think the difference
I'll have a
is
drink or two,
I
but
have the
you
same
two,
mentality,
yeah.
but in my mind, you're
Yeah.
always right,
Some-
no matter.
Oh no.
Aw, wow.
No, that just means Mira's drunk all the
Do you like
time.
how you
That
like really
is
mixed that
just-
one in there?
No.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
sounded positive, but it was also kind of
was-
scary. I'm pretty sure it's the only one that
I
I'm
think
like
I have one
aware
for
of.
Shelby.
Because everything else we've been like with our friends, so it's pretty hard
Do you
for me to do
remember
something that bad at this
Jailhouse?
point.
Yeah.
Oh no, what did I do?
So you cannot bypass.
Oh wait, are you
that
talking
one.
about the night? Yes, I literally knew this is what you're gonna talk about. Listen, there are like
It's
three
not bad.
memorable moments of me getting horribly drunk. That's it. Like, and I'm happy that's it, but that's also a
Yeah,
lot
like
for
every
me.
time.
So I'm just like, that can be a
I
story
feel
for
like we-
another time.
We all had our moment at Jailhouse.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think each one of us had a very memorable moment there.
No.
Yeah.
And we will be going back someday. So Jailhouse, we're
God.
coming for you.
Do we want
We
to?
will. Oh,
Do
we're
we
gonna
need
have
to?
to.
Do we?
Okay,
I
both
think
of
you
you
did
guys
that night.
abandoned me, but
Oh my God, shut up. You're so
we'll
dramatic.
slide in there. For those of you who
Meg.
don't know, Mir abandoned me for North Carolina. Meg
Meg abandoned.
Meg abandoned me for a southern state, and
How did you get
Petunia up there abandoned me for a northern state.
What the fuck's my name?
And it really
Petunia. Also, okay, I
But
did hear
Sarah,
an
that
S, I'm
means you're
not
right in the
crazy.
middle, so you can
Yes,
come visit either of
Petunia.
us easily.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Yeah, you have so
I
many
mean, hashtag
options.
quarantine.
I had a lot of plans to do that before they were like,
I know.
Yeah. Ooh,
I
it was
was, I
over.
was really ready, but hey, once I'm free again, oof, I'm coming your way.
Scary.
It's over for you bitches.
I hope you guys are ready to sit in my apartment.
I'm going to find that brewery that I like so
Ooh.
much up there. I'm gonna get a nice
Aw.
30 pack for the weekend, and we are just gonna quarantine
Hell
ourselves
yeah.
back in the
30 pack
apartment.
for the weekend. Oh my God.
Hey, I'm old now. Okay, I can't drink that much.
No, that's a lot.
How come?
That's a
For
lot.
the three of us,
Yo, chill. I'm
Oh,
there.
four.
yeah. Oh yeah. Hell
It
yeah.
depends. It depends off of we're including. Oh, you were the given. I didn't know if Spencer was going to
Excellent
be
point.
there.
Excellent point.
Or if Spencer would
Good
leave
point. He'll have like half a sip and pass out.
at Basement Gamer.
Love you
So unless
guys.
there's anything else that you would like to add,
That's my last comment.
I don't think so.
I mean,
Aw.
I just want to add that we need to
Okay,
save
then I
the
also want to
bees.
add. Wait,
Okay.
wait. I also
Yeah,
want to
love
add to
you
save the
guys.
bee.
That's
'cause
it.
I don't want to.
We love
mentioned
bees and we
anyways.
love each other. Save the what?
Yeah.
Oh no. Do I also have to say
Yay.
it now? Save the bees.
Ooh,
Yay.
yes.
Oh, guys, we messed up on our name.
No, I'm
We're
on board.
bitching for the
I like
bees,
that.
ladies and gentlemen. We
We
are
are-
saving the bees.
Oh my God.
Oh man, beyond.
A bunch of bees bitching.
Yeah.
We're gonna come up with a new name every single week. Every time.
It was great.
But yeah.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. Really just push our creativity. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, thanks so much
I'm
guys for doing
intrigued.
this. I'm excited for where this goes. I hope
I'm
you are.
intrigued for
I
where
hope you're
this
not. I
goes.
hope you're not like, oh my God, please make this stop right now. But I mean, hey, okay, I was like, you're entitled to your opinion, so
Because apparently you've
say
heard
whatever
that
you want.
before.
Tell me I'm the most fucking annoying person you've ever met. I'll accept it.
Thanks to
Thanks for anybody
viewers.
who actually like stuck through this whole thing and put up with us. And
Absolutely.
Ooh.
next week, grab yourself a
viewers.
drink and join us.
Hell yeah. We should be on all question mark streaming services. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Google Play, right? Yeah, Google Music.
Is it on the YouTube?
No, unless I download this and
The
upload
YouTube?
it. So for now, no, not on the YouTube, but yeah, we're starting with that. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
And
grab a drink and have a
yeah,
listen.
can't wait to see y'all in 2 weeks, right?
Woo!
Oh hell yeah. All right.
Oh hell yeah!
Bye.